Today is the day of announcements for Halo Infinite, which isn't something we're saying very frequently. With the winter update launching on November the 8th, 343 are revealing a lot of what's coming during that event, and things that are coming after that event as well during this winter update, such as details pertaining to the likes of Forge, multiplayer, what will be in this 30-tier battle pass, and how match XP is going to work, and extra details that we haven't been made aware of as of yet. So there's a lot of really interesting stuff going into this, so I thought that I'd create a video just detailing absolutely everything that you need to know about this. So make sure you guys check the timestamps below to skip to whichever part of the video that you're more interested in, and I'll try and cover absolutely everything that I can in this video. It would be really appreciated, guys, if you could go down below and leave a like, and why not subscribe to the channel as well if you are brand new, for loads of new content coming, Halo related, non-Halo related, things like that. Also, if you want to be in for a chance to play with myself and a couple of other people, playing through the entirety of the campaign when co-op campaign does come out, and going for the new achievements and things like that, I'll leave my Discord link down below, just below the like button. You can go join, and in there we have a really cool community, and that's of course where I'll be picking the people to join and to play through the campaign with me, I believe next week or something. So if you're waiting for a chance, join the Discord, it will be great to have you. But without further ado, let's get into everything you guys need to know. So, starting off with multiplayer. The Sandbox is going to be getting a lot of changes come the winter update in November. Here's a list of all the changes that you can expect coming to the Sandbox, weapon updates and nerfs and buffs and things like that. There's a lot. So, starting off with the plasma pistol, we're going to get a series of increases on the plasma pistol, nothing decreased, so this is going to get a big buff come the winter update, which is good because the plasma pistol is quite underpowered. The pulse carbine, again, a series of increases in terms of the guided projectile and a couple of other bits as well, which will be nice because the weapon is a bit underpowered, and when you want to pick it up and it's not very good and it gets outgunned a lot, so I'm glad this is a change that they're making too. The commander was also getting a series of increases too, along with one singular decrease to the minimum error angle max from 0.8 to 0.6 degrees. The BR is actually also getting a bit of a nerf as well, so that'll be on screen right now if you want to read through it, but just know that it's nothing absolutely mental, so this thing's not going to go from a beast to just something unusable. It is just being reduced and nerfed slightly, so it's not as powerful than what it is right now. Along with the frag grenade, it's also being nerfed a little bit in this game too. A lot of the time you find that when you do die, or you threw a grenade and then you die and then you trade with that grenade so you kill that person as well. It happens a lot in this game. It happens very, very often, and the grenades can be a little bit too effective. So essentially what they've done is they've increased the detonation timer by 0.2 seconds to hopefully negate some of that actually happening too often. So we'll have to wait and see how it goes. The disruptors magazine size will be increased from 10 to 12, and that's it really for weapon sandbox balancing. There are a lot more coming by the end of the year apparently. There's a new update coming where a lot of other updates are going to happen to weapons in the sandbox, other equipments and things like that, so expect more coming as well. This is not it, but a good start from 343. Now let's move on to one that I feel like I've been talking about since the beginning of Halo Infinite, probably because I have, and that's Desync. 343 are currently focused on a couple of key areas relating to networking desync, and these are as follows. When the server says you're in one place on the map whilst your client shows you in the other spot, so desync in general, blank shots, you're firing shots at players and then see them connect, but the bullets deal no damage. The next is getting shot around walls or corners. You think you're safely around a corner, but you're dealt with a fatal blow from a player who no longer has that line of sight from you. Story of my life. And then finally, ghost melees, when you melee a player and hear the hit but no damage is dealt. That's pretty much everything from a desync and a sandbox perspective that will be coming for the winter update. As I mentioned, there's a lot of new updates coming before the end of the year as well, so this just isn't just it, but it shows that we're going in the right direction, and I'm hoping that desync can be something that we sort fairly quickly. Now, staying on the same topic as multiplayer, let's move on to ranked CSR improvements as well. So, there's some huge changes being made to Halo Infinite's CSR by 343, and let's start off by local regional matchmaking. Sometimes even just finding a match in Halo Infinite can take upwards of 5 to 10 minutes due to the very low volumes of players playing in particular regions, or generally when the game isn't performing very well. So 343 are introducing something called regional matchmaking. Like it is in MCC, it allows the player to expand their search when going into a match. So if you're based in Australia, for example, because I know this is a very prominent area to have this issue, you can expand your region to connect to servers in other regions across the world, speeding up your matchmaking search times and allowing you to connect just to find a game quicker than 5 to 10 minutes essentially. However, this will potentially come at a cost of worse ping and latency when expanding your search, as you would expect it to, as if you're based in Australia, you're probably going to try and connect to servers in Brazil, Europe, North America, things like that. So you could be in for a little bit more of a rocky connection, but at least you can find a game. 343 have mentioned that the data centers they've got operational right now are situated in Asia, Australia, Brazil, Europe, and North America. So one of those you'll be connecting to wherever you are in the world. They also go on to say that if you're in a party and the expanding search option is something you're trying to do, the fireteam leader's settings is used to determine whether this feature is enabled or not. If the players in your fireteam are located in different regions, the matchmaking system will pick a single region to strike the best balance for all players in your fireteam. So for example, if your 4-person fireteam has 2 players from Europe and 2 in Australia, it's likely your fireteam's region will be in Asia to get the best possible experience for everyone. Following on from this as well, there'll be an update to CSR ranks in general, which is the ranking system behind the rank plate in Halo Infinite. Basically, in very short and high level, a lot of players fed back that this rank didn't really depict the impact that you had personally for a team and your team in a gameplay perspective on this ranked mode, and that it was based very, very solely and closely on personal statistics and performance. 343 have now overhauled the algorithm completely for this CSR rank, which will now determine any gains or losses to your CSR rank after a match based on team play and your team's overall performance. It's now been made more configurable and set up the configuration so that a win or a loss for the whole team matters more than your own individual performance, as it did previously when determining your CSR gains and losses for each player. This could be an issue for those that are playing with people that are just complete ass, to be quite honest. So if you have a strong team, you're likely going to be like a cheat code in this system. If you always do well with a team, you're going to be benefited because of that. We'll have to see how it plays out, to be honest. Look, it could go either way. It could be a genius decision for 343, or this could be the worst decision they've ever made. Personally, I don't have a 4-man team to play this with. I barely even have a 2 or a 3-man team to play this with. So if I'm going to be jumping in and I'm with 3 other randomers that can't communicate with one another, but yeah, I'm coming against a team of 4 people that are communicating, obviously we're going to get slapped, and it's going to be very, very difficult to be able to get those points, and you see where I'm talking about here. But sticking on the topic of CSR ranks, let's talk about 343's plan to approach this issue with dealing with players leaving ranked lobbies and essentially screwing your team over during ranked games, because this was a big one for me when playing, and I know a lot of you guys have the same problem as well. So currently, when a player fails to connect to a rank match or quits early in that match, other players are forced to play the entirety of that match through with the 3 players that are still on your team, so the other team obviously have a huge advantage over you because of that. To address this in the near future, 343 are making changes to the penalty system that players will see when they quit in these situations. There are 2 types of penalties for quitting early ranked matches, so bans and also CSR penalties. Both of these will be improved with an upcoming change going forward, but currently anyone who quits a game will receive a flag, and getting too many of these flags in a short period of time will result in a ban. The rules are currently being updated by 343 so that only the first person that will quit will receive that flag. Everyone else in that game may quit without fear of getting banned or getting a flag. Essentially, the first person to quit and to screw your teammates over will be the person to get that flag. Now, there are a couple of notes on this that I wanted to talk about as well. A couple of them are to do with network disconnects, and they do count as quits. So unfortunately, if your brother or sister unplugs the internet cable and you just completely lost all internet, go back on the game, you will have a flag. It's crap, but that's just how it is. Unfortunately, if they didn't do this, apparently bad actors could just pull their network cables out when they didn't want to play the game and didn't want to quit and get that flag. So look, it makes sense, but again, it penalizes you for things that are out of your control as well. So it's a bit of a sour situation there. Other offences like cheating, team killing, or going idle will still always result in a flag regardless of whether players have quit or not. Currently, anyone who quits a ranked game will lose 15 CSR points, even if you're the last person to quit. However, this is being changed by 343, so the first person to quit will always lose that 15 CSR points. However, if you quit after that first person, you will only lose 5 CSR points just because the first person screwed you over. So if you do want to leave, you're not going to get hindered for leaving after that because you're at an ultimate disadvantage, and you will only get that 5 CSR point penalty for that. So it's a good change, I suppose, to kind of counteract it a little bit there, but it's, yeah, still not ideal really. Now let's discuss the 30 tier battle pass and of course match XP coming too. These are by far the biggest things in my opinion coming, and the one thing that I want to jump back on and play for, so I'm very much looking forward to these. But let's dive straight in, we've got a lot of details. So the first item we unlock in the 30 tier battle pass is the Mark 5 core. Looks really good, and I'm very excited to jump in and to get this as well. With it being the first thing on the list as well, I'm glad they've added that and not the last one. You also get a lot of armor pretty early on as well. I think within the first 5 levels, you unlock 4 pieces of armor, which is really positive. This is probably the best start to a battle pass that we could have had ever. Event battle passes or just generally seasonal battle passes. So I hope they do follow this trend going forward as well. Have a lot of armor at the beginning, get people wanting to play and grind for it, and then give you the more higher tier and better looking armor towards the end to obviously make you incentivize grinding that battle pass. It's a good start, and ultimately this battle pass is full of some really cool armor. Obviously the likes of new helmets, visors, utilities, knee pads, shoulder pads, all of them being Halo Reach themed, by the way, which I'm a massive fan of. Not to mention the CQB armor finally coming in Infinite as well, and it looks really good. Essentially, this is battle passes filled with all of the Reach armor that we didn't get in the very first Heroes of Reach battle pass for Season 1. So they're kind of just backfilling what armor they had left over from that first battle pass or from that first seasonal theme. Look, I think it's cool. I'm looking forward to jumping in. And then finally, to finish it off, we get the Mark 5 helmet. Fucking love it. It looks absolutely great. And this is probably one of the best battle passes we've had so far in Halo Infinite. So I'm going to be smashing it. I'm probably going to be the first one that I actually try and complete, to be quite honest, to get that Mark 5 armor. Very good news on there. A couple of other bits were mentioned as well. So for the events coming in December and also January, there'll be much more Reach content coming around that as well for both of the events. Also, a lot of holiday-themed events and gear and different things like that coming too, with one of them being teased as a Christmas hat Spartan helmet. How that's going to work, I don't know, but I'm all for it. We also got to look at how Match XP is going to work too. So you get a lot of different things. You're scored on a lot of different things on the left-hand side. You have the challenges that you completed, which have also been overhauled. More on that in a moment. In the right-hand side, along with the overall XP bar at the very top. So the challenges are also a really good thing as well. So we're not going to be forced to play big team battle or play one Spartan standing or whatever it is. We don't have to be forced to play those modes to finish these challenges. They are more gameplay challenges now, which is exactly what they should have been in the first place. I don't want to be forced to play a mode I don't like. So these challenges have been overhauled to incentivize you to play a certain way or to do things in gameplay, stuff like that. So it's better than telling you to play this mode and do this in this mode and whatever it is. So I like that. You can now play whatever mode you want and complete the challenges in whatever mode you want. Although, one thing that I thought was absolutely amazing, and to be honest, something I didn't think this would happen, but they've absolutely smashed it out the park here. Match XP is going to count for Season 1's Battle Pass and Season 2's Battle Pass, along with this free 30 tier Battle Pass. This is really good news. Because now, instead of just, when I've finished this 30 tier battle pass, I can now go back to the first 2 battle passes for the first 2 seasons and just use the match XP to do that, rather than having to do these stupid challenges all the time. Really good news there. I'm really glad they've done that and not just segregated it to this one battle pass, because that would have been a bit naff really, wouldn't it? So massive W for 343 there. And overall, I'm really happy with what they've shown us here. I think it's a really good start, and the content of the battle pass is really positive and really going in the right direction for me. The amount of armor is really good. The actual armor is really nice. Mark 5 is gorgeous as ever, and I'm buzzing to go for it, to be honest. So let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. And then finally, let's cover what's coming to Forge. So, in very high level, the pit hits matchmaking before the end of the year. No confirmed date just yet, but just the end of the year is what they mentioned. Mod support has been hinted at with Halo Infinite as well. That's absolutely massive. Think of all of the insane MCC mods that are currently out there, and how much potential and life that this would give to Halo Infinite if mod support was put into this game. Campaign AI was also hinted at potentially coming to Forge in the future too, so a proper managed AI scripting feature like we have in the campaign to potentially make sure small little stories and missions. That'll be really cool. I really hope we get something like that coming too. No date, probably next year, to be honest, with Forge being in beta. We'll probably get some additions to that later in the year and more videos and talking about that from 343, so we can always wait and dream for that. Again, upwards of 8 players can play Forge together at any given time in one single match, so that's also massive for those bigger projects for people. 343 knows that players want water features in Forge as well, so they're looking at creating and adding them into Forge later on down the line in additional Forge updates and rollouts as well, or potentially Forge flights. And editing on dev maps is a possibility going forward and would be a very cool addition to Forge. However, nothing's confirmed just yet, or no date as to when that could be coming. That is absolutely everything that is coming to Halo Infinite's winter update as far as we're aware. There could be more videos and updates coming in the next couple of days that we just don't know about just yet, but as of now, that is absolutely everything. Of course, we've got the new game mode Covert 1 flag, the 2 different maps, Argyle and Detachment. There's a lot coming to Halo Infinite's winter update, a lot more than what a lot of people probably anticipated in terms of weapon fixes and general features as well to make this game feel a bit newer and more fresh. I'm looking forward to jumping into Halo Infinite to just play something new. I've not played Halo in so long, guys. So long. Halo is, again, one of those games that I love, and I want to have an excuse to jump in and play it. I haven't had that excuse in a long time, so Halo Infinite is going to give me that excuse for the winter update. And then obviously going into next year, and then in March, that's when Season 3 is going to be here. And fingers crossed, man, 343 reach seasonality in March. I really hope they do, and I hope they smash it and get the momentum going from there, because this game and ultimately this franchise and community deserve it after the shit show of last year and the year before with the delay of the game anyway. But that is everything, guys, to know about this update. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down below and what you ultimately think of this. Are you going to jump into Halo Infinite when the winter update comes around? Are you excited for it? What's going through your head? And what thoughts are you thinking right now? But I hope you have enjoyed today's video, everyone. Leave a like if you have, be very much appreciated. Subscribe if you guys are brand new as well for 2 Halo videos in a row. It's been 2 weeks on the channel since Halo videos, so this is unheard of in the last 2 weeks. So very excited, but enjoy the rest of your day, guys, and we'll see everyone in the next video.